Hey everyone, this is VSG Steve with my week 43 post-op update. For those new to the channel, thanks for joining us, and those who've been around for a while, bit of an apology. I haven't done an update for a couple of weeks, been a bit distracted with a whole lot of other things and going on. So, but I thought, look, it's time for me to get back on track and do a bit of an update. So, what's been going on? We'll start with the stats. So, for people who I had my VSG surgery back in the end of June 2016, and which makes me close to July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, about 10 months out. My highest weight was 155.5 kilos, and my current weight is 97.6 kilos, or 214 pounds. I think the last update I did, it was post my Olympic triathlon, and then I hadn't done an update for about 3 or 4 weeks. So this is just going to be a bit of a summary. Now, weight-wise, as I've been saying for a number of months and pretty much through the process, my weight stats, I'm not really that fussed about my weight stats now. I'm actually more fussed about some of my fitness goals and what I've been doing and things like that. I have to say, since the triathlon, my first week I had a bit of a recovery week where I did a couple of small swims and did a small swim a couple of days out of it, and then I also joined a local swimming masters club, which is mostly, I'm probably one of the youngest there, but they're all been pretty much more of a focus on, they've had a lot more focus on swimming and a lot more experience in swimming, so it's a bit of a kind of Saturday morning session that I've been doing with them. I've done it a couple of times, and it's actually a really good session it gives me a lot of kind of technique, guidance and things like that. So it's been really good. I'm really enjoying doing that session. And they actually do some really big distances. So I did 3.3 kilometres with them one week, and then a couple of weeks later I did about the same distance again. So the second week I actually did a little bit more running. So I did a run which was about a 4.2 kilometre run, which was just, I actually started trying to increase my speed. So one of the things I decided to do to concentrate in the off-season triathlons was really concentrating on my swimming and concentrating on my running. So keeping those, so I'm probably doing a bit more of that and not doing a lot of bike work at all. So in fact, I don't think I've even jumped on the bike since the triathlon. So, but did some swim, did a couple of running, and then I've also did a running group, which I've been doing with the local triathlon group, which is a lot more sprints works and track work and things like that, which is good. And also did a bit more swimming with them later in the week. My third and my fourth week since the triathlon, I've been really kind of out of action. The third week I just wasn't feeling real well. It was nothing really majorly wrong. I just wasn't feeling 100%, and I actually had a full-on week at work, so I didn't really get my chance to do a lot. And then last week we had sickness go right through the house. So from Easter Sunday, I went down with a bit of a sickness on Easter Sunday, and then that led to the flu, and then that's led to being a good family. What happens with a good family, we always share our sicknesses. So that led to myself being off for a couple of days from work with the flu, which led to my wife being off for a couple of days with the flu, and now it's hit Matilda, who's our 1-year-old, who's been out with the flu. So we're really kind of, sickness has been going right through the house. So I haven't really been able to do much, and haven't had a lot of energy to do much. So, but I did actually get back into doing a bit more running. So today I went for a run at lunchtime, which was just a 5 kilometre run. Didn't want to push myself because I hadn't actually done any running for a couple of weeks. But it was really good to get back on the road and doing those kind of things. Because I haven't been doing a lot of exercise, my weight has been all over the place in the last couple of weeks. My lowest weight was the day after the triathlon, which was highly expected. It was 96.8. That I dropped a hell of a lot from that day that I did the triathlon. Then over time, over the last couple of weeks, my weight went up, for a couple of weeks, and then it started going back down. So last week, because of the flu, I wasn't eating a lot and things like that, so I was expecting a bit of a weight loss. So, but as I said, it's really not that concerned about it going up that much. I think as I get back into a bit more fitness and being able to really, and also being Easter, my food has been great. Hadn't been eating things that I probably hadn't been eating since surgery, so I had a bit of chocolate over the Easter. But even that, I was very conscious of. I haven't actually eaten an Easter egg as such. I've just been eating little sample bits of chocolate and things like that. So really just, and when I say little bits, I might eat one little egg, which is kind of really small. So it's been good to and that. So I've been reasonably well behaved, but I probably need to get a bit more back on track. And I think I always find when I'm doing a lot more fitness stuff, my food actually increases. What I'm eating, the quality of food actually increases also. So which is good. So which pretty much leads to my motivations. I have to say, when I was leading up to the triathlon, I always had that triathlon as my goal. I was leading this, so it was always kind of right. That's where I'm leading to. Because I hadn't really had any set goals. I didn't want to set any goals the week straight after the triathlon. I just wanted to let my body recover and start thinking about things. And there's been a lot of things that I've been thinking about in the sense of there's some trail runs that are happening over the winter. We've also got a couple of big runs that are happening later in the winter here. So there's a big run that happens in June. There's another run that happens in October, which is the Melbourne Marathon. And there's a couple of levels, and there was also another run that was happening, which was the Run for the Kids, which was the day after the triathlon. So the week after the triathlon, which I actually was tempted to actually enter, and I probably would have been able to run it. I didn't want to enter that race until after the triathlon, but and then thought about it later in the week, and I was going to, and then I just decided, no, I won't. But I think I at least I know where I'm up to with the where I would be after an Olympic triathlon. The other thing that I noticed after my after the triathlon, it really took me about 2 weeks to recover from some of the food that I had eaten on the day. So there was a lot of gels and a lot of sugary drinks and those kind of things, and it's probably something that I really need to look at when I'm starting to do some of those longer races, what sort of foods I need to be taking, what the intake I need to be taking. So it's because it has taken me a little while to recover from some of those things. So this probably leads to me where I'm going and what I've been doing in the last couple of days, especially since I've been sick. I've always been re-evaluating where I want my next goals to be being. So I've decided to focus on some trail runs that'll actually happen between June and October. So there's a trail run series that I found, which is a run every month, and they lead from 5k runs up to a 21k run, and they're different levels, they're different lengths. And I think that's going to be a good motivation getting back into the running. So I think the first race will be in about 6 weeks' time, so I'll lead into that. The other thing, the October, the Melbourne Marathon, which is pretty much the most famous running event that happens in Melbourne each year. And like most city marathons, they have a marathon of 42k's, then they have their half marathon, which is 21k's, and then they have some smaller ones. I've done some of the smaller ones, the 10k, and been looking at where do I aim for the October race. Do I aim for the 21k, or do I go for the full hog in the 42? Well, at this stage, I'm going to aim for the 21. Just to give myself a bit of a kind of guide, but I'm also going to just set a bit of a program out to seeing how I'm going while I'm leading through the trail racing season. The other thing is, the other thing that I'm still trying to work out is where do I aim for next triathlon season and what level do I aim for. So because there's probably two options that are realistic for me at the moment, and then one of them mightn't be realistic anyway. First one is to aim to do a full series of sprint and Olympic triathlons next season. So doing the same sort of lengths that I've been doing this season. but doing more regular ones. So there's a series of about 6 events that happen. I did 2 of them this summer. And looking at probably do I aim to do the full series this next season. The other option would be to do that, and then right at the end of the season or at the start of the season in about October, aim for a half Ironman. So the half Ironman, which is which I think is a 1.8k swim, 90k ride, and a 21k run. Still trying to work out if that's going to be realistic for me or not at this stage. I'm also conscious of looking at some of the kind of veterans of the community, and they talk about the 2 and the 3 year blues, and needing something to motivate yourself to get through those second and third year those blues. So if there is people who are in those kind of age groups, I'm looking for a bit of advice in there, in the sense of do I try to have it like pretty much a consistent season next season, and not aim to go too far, in aiming for the same sort of shorter distances as what I've done this season, and then aim for the following season, being that I'll be 2 years out of I'll be 2.5 years out of surgery, and aim for a half Ironman then, so maybe October 2018, or the other option, there's another race that actually happens at the end of the summer, so that would be about March 2019. So aim to do it in that kind of thing. So that's a bit of thinking that's going on in my head at the moment, and just thinking if I get to that, when I get to that 2.5 year, that 2 to 3 year time, if I had the motivation, if my motivation was to aim for the half Ironman at that stage, it might give me a bit of angst. It might help me in through that kind of what people talk about in that 2 or 3 year blues. So yeah, any advice around that would be fantastic. So anyway, that's about it for me. I'm going to shoot out some links down the bottom of in my comments, because there's been a couple of new people that I've linked into lately, and it'd be really good to give these guys a bit of support. Because they're at different stages of their process, and some of them are even pre-surgery. So I'm just going to, but I'll leave the links in there. So some of them, notably, sorry about this, guys. Notably, finding me with VSG. Finding me with VSG is someone that I just linked into, Australian mum with a couple of kids, who's just going through the same process of starting to look at her, wanting to look at her and go through the process and really investigating the process. And she's been doing her blood works and things like that, and she had a bit of a devastating news, but I don't want to cut too much into her videos. So look, guys, get on board with that. And the other thing that I wanted to highlight was a couple of us have been talking about Al's journey to good health, and myself, we've been talking, who does a lot of triathlons also. We've been talking about setting up a triathlon VSG, a weight loss surgery triathlon group, which we've set up on Facebook, which we're just starting to get moving with. So if you want to get involved in this, please let me know, and I can add you on to that list. And it's just going to be a group of people who have had weight loss surgery, but also looking at doing triathlons or running or swimming, or those kind of things. And it's a bit of a group we can support each other through the process, and give people a bit of advice. Because I know from when you're doing triathlons or you're doing these kind of journeys, you read a lot of books and all that kind of stuff, but there's also that different aspect of what you're dealing with your weight loss surgery, and what you can put in your stomach and what you can't put in your stomach. And it's good to actually get a bit of advice from people who are actually around and doing these kind of things. So, all right, it's probably been a bit of a long one, but thanks guys for watching, and I hope you all have a good week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.